My people no be small thing o. Nigeria people don react o, no be small o. Dem dey talk say Tinubu never enter. See wetin Tinubu son dey do wey be Seyi. My people wahala don happen o. Dem don finally catch Seyi red-handed o. No be small thing o. A lot of people don dey draw the attention of the Efcc say Efcc make una see una food o. Make una come carry una food o. This one no be say na dey carry food from the poor people alone o. Oya make una come carry this one. Make una come carry this one. My people no be small thing o. Dem don drag Seyi Tinubu go land for Efcc table. Wahala don happen o. Secret don expose o, because a lot of things wey be say they do for hide, e don come outside o. Say if dem fit meet you with this kind thing, if your papa come dey into power, wetin go come happen exactly? My people, I go like make una go watch the video. So tey Seyi Tinubu lawyer sef dey come outside to come defend im client. They come defend Seyi Tinubu lawyer come outside. So tey the matter don pass be careful. The matter don dey everywhere, my people. Even Tinubu himself go dey talk say my son, why you wan put me for wahala? Wey be say dem dey drag am for this election matter, dem dey drag am dey go court. You come still carry your own come join am. My people, make una go watch video.
So Seyi Tinubu, the son of the president-elect Bola Tinubu, is said to have purchased a London mansion, which the Nigerian government had tried to seize as property bought with the proceeds of crime. Well, according to the report, he bought the property for $10.8 million, that's about £9 million, through the company in which he has majority shares in 2017. And the details of the company is publicly available on the UK government's website. And the property is said to have previously belonged to Mr. Kolawole Aluko, whom the federal government, under the President Muhammadu Buhari administration, has accused of billions of naira worth of fraud and of buying the mansion with embezzled funds. So this story has gotten a lot of Nigerians, even people outside of Nigeria, talking about the case, especially because it is coming less than a month to the inauguration of the president-elect. Well, Channels Television has reached out to Mr. Seyi Tinubu and the spokespersons of the president-elect, as well as the EFCC, but we're yet to get a response. But let's get some learned opinion on this, just to sort of give you an insight into what we're dealing with here. We're joined on the program by a legal practitioner, Mr. Dapo Otitoju, who joins us virtually from the nation's capital, Abuja. Well, good evening, and thank you for joining us on the program. Well, we'll try to make do with the picture quality, but just to get to the heart of the matter. Like a lot of Nigerians, you've seen this report, and I wonder for you, what are the issues at stake here?
Can you hear me? Good evening.
Yes, I can. Good evening. Please go ahead.
Yes. This allegation is still not confirmed, still an allegation. And I will want us to also look at the fact that Seyi Tinubu is an individual, a company in which Blue Bomb, it's a company that we know that also into business of various, whatever business you think they are entitled to also work on. But be that as it may, I believe that every individual have a right to acquire properties as the demands may come to them. Now, looking at the issue at stake, just because Seyi Tinubu is the son of the president-elect does not mean that he does not have a right to acquire property. He is not the president-elect, and neither has he also assumed position in Nigeria. So now think of the fact that in the oil sector, Seyi Tinubu is somebody who has made money from various businesses. And so he has rights as an individual to acquire property. So are we saying that if a president, if the father is a president, he himself does not have a right to acquire property from his own business, from his own resources? By our standard, Tinubu is not a poor man. And as such, if he has a property that he wants
Okay, well, looks like we lost connection with you there for a moment, Mr. Otitoji. But if you're still there, looking at the details of the company, Aranda Overseas Corporation, which, as I said, is publicly available on the Companies House website of the UK government. It says the country of incorporation, the British Virgin Islands, puts the address essentially. Puts details of the company, which is in reference here by the Bloomberg report. And I wonder for you as well, a lot of people are raising the moral question as to, $11 million, $10.8 million, we could round it off to that. A lot of people are asking the moral question that, that is a huge sum of money, isn't it?
Yes, I am. Like I said, if you look at the status of Tinubu in the society, apart from being the son of the president-elect, Seyi Tinubu is not a poor man. Seyi Tinubu, by all standards, has worked and has earned his money. Looking at how much you are talking about, it is not for Seyi, it is for the company. You are talking about Blue Bank being the purchaser of the property. It is still an allegation, as I earlier said. But whatever it is, we as an individual, we are entitled to have right to purchase property as long as the Constitution of Nigeria allows you to have right to immovable property. Seyi Tinubu is in Nigeria. He can acquire property, let alone property that was acquired abroad. And what the problem is, you are not blaming Seyi Tinubu. You are saying Blue Bank. Blue Bank is a company. Seyi Tinubu is is the CEO of the company. So you have to be able to separate Seyi Tinubu from Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a president. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has not even assumed office, let alone now maybe making the rounds that it is a process of corruption. So I don't agree with those who are talking about the fact that the money is huge, 11 million US dollar, pounds. As long as Seyi Tinubu is an individual, he has worked, he's still working, and he can acquire property as much as he can. So long as there's no linkage of the Nigerian resources with him. He has not held any public office. He's not the governor. He's not the deputy governor. He's not with any elective or public office. He's a businessman. So I believe that we should stop this making round and concentrate on better things.
Well, it's interesting you say that that's not a huge sum of money for a lot of people. That is huge, and I imagine for a majority of people. But another issue at stake here. So Bloomberg published that report. The company in question is Aranda Overseas Corporation. But another major issue is the fact that the Nigerian government under President Muhammadu Buhari had actually tried to seize that property, saying it was bought with proceeds of crime. And it's the same property in question that is said to have been purchased by Aranda Corporation. And I'd like to speak to this question of due diligence, because the report out there is also saying that, well, that property was under mortgage anyway, so it was maybe reclaimed by the bank and eventually bought. So does that speak to maybe the due diligence that was done by the anti-graft agency, which sought to seize this property in the first place?
Now, you see, when you talk about mortgage, the mortgage system is totally different from what we are talking about. Now, in mortgage outside Nigeria, mortgage system is totally different from outright purchase, which we normally do here in Nigeria. Now, looking at what you just said, a property that was seized from Aluko and the former Minister for Petroleum. Now, this property will be seized or will be seized by the federal government of Nigeria. Of course, have a right to either auction it, or if they found out that there is mortgage running on the property, they release it for whoever the mortgagor is or the mortgagee. Seyi Tinubu could also have a right to also acquire this property upon being released back to the bank. Now, the whole activity around this property is still not clear as to whether it was actually seized by Federal Republic of Nigeria. And if it is mortgage, then you cannot be talking of corruption, because mortgage system has to go with monthly remittance or yearly remittance, as the case may be. So in essence, what I'm trying to say is that whatever due diligence they must have taken, Bloomberg, being a company, have a right to invest in properties. As you know, Nigerians and all other companies all over the world today, properties are more lucrative in business, and people invest in it not to live, but of course to keep and buy and make money.
Right.
You cannot say that the $11 million or pounds, as the case may be, is a proceed that is coming from one person. So what I'm trying to let you know is that in any business transaction we are doing, it has its own aim and objective.
All right, let's wind down on this. Again, Bloomberg is an organization that published a report, and the company in question that purchased the property from that report is Aranda. But what kind of impact do you see this having on, well, the image of the president-elect, the swearing-in, which is expected in less than a month away? With this kind of report, what kind of impact do you see it having on his image and, of course, the swearing-in and his administration as a whole, I should add?
Yes. I can't hear you. Please, can you just...
Oh, my question is pretty straightforward. I'm asking that what kind of impact do you see this report that was just released, what kind of impact do you see it having on the image of the president-elect, the swearing-in, which is coming, and, of course, his administration?
Yeah, well, as far as I'm concerned, I don't believe that this should affect any swearing or should have any image to affect anything. Sorry, because Sheyi Tinubu is an individual. He's the son of the president-elect. He's an adult. He's not a minor. And so whatever he does, is different from the president-elect. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is different from Sheyi Tinubu. So please, what I'm trying to let you know is that we cannot link this alongside any of the activity of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. His son is different from himself. And so whatever his son does, to the best of my knowledge, that is why he's answering Sheyi Tinubu. And the president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is also answering that. So,
in cases like this, in other climes, as the Hunter Biden case, for example, is a major reference point. But in terms of how Nigerians receive this, the anti-graft stance of this current administration and, in fact, international perception, because Bloomberg said that he actually bought that property cash down. So does that bother you in any way with that quantum of cash?
Now, Bloomberg is a company. Like I said, it's a company. And it is not only Sheyi Tinubu that is a major stakeholder in that company. Sheyi Tinubu could also have facilitators, contributors within the company to have bought that property. That's why I say it could be a pool, a system whereby you pull resources together to acquire a property for purposes. So for now, it's still not verifiable. I could not have said, Sheyi Tinubu has not told you that he is the owner of the money. The entire money he used in buying the property. So I feel that we should concentrate more on the facts that is verifiable and not
All right. Well, these issues are actually there, and Nigerians will naturally ask the question, because that's what governance is about, being accountable to the people in different ways. And I'm sure a lot of Nigerians will be waiting to at least hear the other side. And we'll keep asking those questions, hoping to, of course, hear from them soon enough. But we'd like to thank you so much for shedding some light on this. We've been speaking with Mr. Dapo Titoju, who's a legal...
My people, now the video now on a new watch finish, so on a see what happen for inside the video. All right, my people, I would like to end the video for you. Make una let me know waiting on a thing for the comment section. And if una never subscribe, make una subscribe so that una no go miss any latest gist wey I dey upload. Now bye bye till I come on away next time. Bye guys, catch you in the next video. Bye guys.